All right. Welcome. Happy March, whatever today is. Happy March 11th. Happy March 11th marks almost 1 year anniversary for COVID-19. Now, that's kind of an ominous birthday, 1 year anniversary. So, anyway, welcome to my weekly stream here. Hopefully, wherever you are, you're going to type in some comments, and I've got a couple topics I wanted to get your feedback on. Okay. So, the first one is obviously we've been 1 year into this whole debacle, right? We've been 1 year into this thing. We've been locked down. We've been quarantined. We've been masked. We've been sequestered. We've been just about everything. And so the question is, what'd you learn? I mean, there's some very powerful lessons. I mean, for me and for our business and for entrepreneurs all over the world. So if you got one, good evening, Anand from Mumbai, India. Good evening. Tell me what time is it over there? What time is it in Mumbai? So again, if you've got some powerful lessons, just type them in the comment section. Just type them in. Good evening, Gaurav. Also, I believe in India. So if there's one thing that you've learned big time out of this whole thing, what is it? Because you know what? There's two sides to every coin. It's been horrible. I mean, it's been fatal, and it's been fatal to human life. It's been fatal to businesses. It's been fatal to a lot of things. But there's also been a ton of things that everybody's had the opportunity to learn. 1:30 a.m. Dude, you better go to bed. I mean, I'm honored that you're on the stream, but get some sleep. There have been some very, very powerful lessons. Andreas, thank you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Luis, greetings from Mexico. Luis Alvarado, very good, very nice. I'd like to get what your feedback is. If there's something that you learned from all of this, what the heck did you learn? Otherwise, you just become a victim, right? And none of us are victims, and not if you're with me on this stream, that's for sure. But I'll give you an example. And this is something that I rant about a lot. And I actually did a talk on this the other day. And that is on whatever the date, if it was this date, if it was March 11th, 2020, when everything locked down, the education system flipped on its backside and became helpless. And it revealed all of the problems with the public and even private education system we have in the world. And that was a good thing, as far as I'm concerned, because it was long overdue to expose it for what it really is, okay? Inadequate, 50 years behind the times, maybe 100 years behind the times, and still trying to struggle along. So that's been a powerful lesson in that if you're in education right now and you're providing something that school doesn't teach in a way they don't teach it, which is everything that we do at BSTA, then if with a little bit of good marketing and sales, you should be doing great. Unfortunately, some people aren't, because they're still holding on to something that's not working or something that's still in the past. So, Rosana, is it Culebro or is it actually Rosana? I don't know who it is on there, but good to see you. So, you guys, my friends, type in some comments and, what are your thoughts? I mean, what is it that you have learned over this period of time? I was with a group of people this morning. We were studying a book by one of my teachers about paradigm shifts. And so all these things that we go through operate in cycles, right? They operate in cycles. There's ups and there's downs. And some of them are 10-year cycles, some are 13, some are 30, 50, 90-year cycles. And so the cycle that we're in is, and I'm not exactly sure where we are in the cycle, but as you read about the symptoms, we're right in the middle of a collapse. Okay, collapse of financial system, collapse of education system, collapse of large organizations that attempt to hold on and to control. And so I don't know how long it's going to take for all that to weed its way out. It could be a couple months, could be a couple years, could be a decade, could be a generation. I don't know. But what I do know is that the people, again, those of you that are part of BSTA, congratulations, because all indications is you're on the right side of the change. Why? Because the most powerful thing you can be doing right now, according to some of my teachers, is to be part of a learning unit where you're learning something, which if you're part of BSTA, that's what you're doing. BSTA, by the way, is Blair Singer Training Academy. That's where we train some of the best teachers, leaders, and facilitators in the world. Actually, not for the original reason, but now because it is a form of education that people are gravitating toward. Because think about it. All the things that people, when COVID happened, one of the big powerful lessons was, one of the powerful lessons was, what do you need to learn? What are the cracks in your foundation? Well, there's cracks in our personal finances, in our businesses, in our health, in our relationships, in the way we communicate in our teams, all these things that got revealed. So where are you going to go to get educated about it? School? No, school didn't teach any of that. As a matter of fact, the nature of school taught the opposite, right? So again, where does a person go for real education? Real education. One of the people on our call teaches people how to create apps, apps for your phone. And he said when he learned it several years ago, it took him a whole year, 6 months to a year to learn it. Now he can teach people how to create an app in 2 days and market it and make money with it. So that's how fast things are moving. So traditional education is kind of a thing of the past. So I just look forward to kind of invest in the person that's sitting right in front of you, and they will give you back tenfold. That's a powerful lesson, Andreas. Yeah, that's a very powerful. Linda Gale, good to see you. Right now is a great time to create change in education. Yeah, and you're already doing it. Eleanor from Italy. Love from Italy. Oh, well, thank you. Darcy, I learned how unconscious all that humanity are. Not even with a hit on the hammer, do they want to wake up? So Darcy, I mean, you're a little pessimistic on that, don't you think? But I agree with you. A lot of people are just waiting for it to go back, which is crazy. Why would you go back to something that doesn't work as well as something that works now? In other words, those of you that are in the training business, you're offering all the cracks that were revealed are all things that we all want. We want to be financially free. We want to be healthy, all these things. Where are you going to find them? In school? No, you're not going to find any of that stuff in school. So where's the alternative? The alternative are people like you, people like myself that have expertise in some of those areas that can offer life-changing education for people to have the lives that they want to have. So people, Bucky Fuller once said, don't try to change the system. And I'm going to say this, don't try to go back to a broken system that created the problem to begin with, which is education. It's broken. As far as I'm concerned, I don't believe that it will change very much as it is. I think it'll get replaced, and it's already getting replaced. Adult education and personal development, business development world is a multi-billion dollar industry around the world and growing quickly. And so people are looking for alternative education. Yeah, people are unconscious, Darcy. I believe that people are unconscious only to the degree that they're in survival. When your emotion is high, your intelligence is low, right? And so I understand that people are somewhat unconscious, and particularly when they're worried about how to put food on the table, how to feed themselves, when they're faced with a raging pandemic in their communities. It's hard to be gracious, grateful, and give to others. But you're right. I mean, if you can, then we all move forward. If you can't, we don't. And like I said, there are some people, like you say, actually, there's some people that just don't get it. We are all getting hit as you say, we are all getting hit on the head with a hammer. The question is, are people actually waking up and listening to it? So thank you, Darcy. Thank you for that comment. Greetings from Peru. Love Little Voice Book. Oh, good. Jorge from Peru. Hey, you'll be happy to know that you guys too, is that I'm just finishing up a 21-day challenge, a 21-day challenge. It's actually going to be free. It's a free challenge. And once we get all the, I actually finished the last video of it today. And we take the 21 techniques. Actually, I didn't take all 21. I took about 14 or 15 of the ones out of the book. And just in less than 5 minutes, I give you the challenge of the day. Here's the technique. Here's how to use it. Go use it. I shouldn't say it's brilliant, but I think it's pretty cool. Okay. And there are about 5 other ones that were not in the book, that are not in Little Voice Mastery, that are also in there, which are very cool. So if you're interested in that, again, we'll be announcing that. Go to blairsinger.com/get started. And if you like the Little Voice book, we have a whole, there's a whole class. There's a Little Voice Mastery class. It's a couple hours long. It's an amazing class. It's got questions and answers. It's got little quizzes and tests to test yourself to make sure you're getting your little voice under control. So yeah, so I'm glad you enjoyed it. What else we got here? Linda Gale, last year was exposed the gaps in education. People are hungry for alternatives. A whole new world has opened up for them. Well, that's true, Linda Gale. And as a matter of fact, a whole new world should have opened up for you too, because you're a provider of that. You're a provider of that. And you're, in Australia. And I think that those cracks are revealed. But to Darcy's point, some people still don't get it. They still think that it's just the pandemic. Look, if you believe in crazy things, not crazy things, if you believe in consciousness and growth and spirituality a little bit, then you've got to believe that COVID-19 and all of that stuff kind of came in to allow us to see what we needed to see. Whether it was manufactured and all that other stuff, whether somebody manipulated it or not, I'm not even going to get into that because I have no clue and I don't really even care. But what I do know is that virus is real, and what happened is because of it, it forced all of us to pause, just stop for a second. Now, some people stopped and said, "Okay, so what am I going to do next?" And what am I going? Some people just said, "I'm going to wait it out." Some people just went into panic mode. So again, I think that everything is a blessing. If you're able to, as Bucky Fuller used to say, understand there's no real right and wrong. It's either works or it doesn't work. What's right today could be wrong tomorrow. Investing in Bitcoin today could be good. Investing in Bitcoin in a couple more days could be bad. Okay, so from that perspective. So I think that it is a world of opportunity, Linda Gale. And I think that those people, if you're not a teacher now, I'm going to highly encourage you to learn how to do that, because I think it's a very fast moving industry. And I think that people that establish themselves now during these times will be good for many, many years to come. Many, many years to come. What do you say? PSP was a great experience. Just attended from India. Oh, Amit, you like that? You like that program? So those of you, powerful sales presentation. We just did a powerful sales presentation. I think we did for there were about 150 plus some odd people for 3 days, all online. And those of you that have done that, first of all, you got to be able to present. My 2 premises: number one, you got to be able to get on this camera and do something to talk to people, because that's not going away. Everybody's clients are online and they're going to stay there to the degree that they can. Why? It's more efficient, it's more comfortable, and it costs less money, right? So that's one thing. The other thing is you got to be able to sell, because if you can't sell, sales equals income. So we did a great program, and I completely rewrote the entire program. So it was a little bit of an experiment to see how it worked, and I think it went great. We covered about how to find your niche. If you're going to be a trainer or something like that, there is not even a trainer. If you're going to be a leader, in your DNA, there's a message. Everybody's got one. You got one. I got one. The whole planet's got one. Most people will never find it. Most people will be tormented by something in their life, but they don't know what it is. That could be one of the things. So that was part of it, to find what that is step by step, to be able to understand how to present yourself, how to present a program, or how to present yourself in a sales environment, and a template to actually step by step to sell just about anything to anybody. Well, assuming that they have an interest in it. I'm not saying you can sell garbage to people, and that's not what I'm talking about. But if you've got something of value that you want to sell, then we go through that template. So I'm glad you liked it. Out of the box. Yeah, that's right, Amit. And one of the selling exercises, people I had people go out and raise money for charity. We raised over $18,000 US overnight. It was awesome. It was an amazing group of people. I was blown away. And you know what? Just about everybody was doing it. And one of the rules was you can't put in your own money, and you can't get money from anybody in the class. So they did an amazing job. Claudia, hi Blair, your teaching helped me to grow my business. Last year I was a solopreneur, and today I have 2 coworkers. Thank you much. I'm an enthusiastic member of BSDA. Well, Claudia, congratulations. Congratulations, and right in the middle of the whole friggin' pandemic, right? So while some people are losing jobs, you just created a couple. And that's amazing. So congratulations, and thank you for doing it. Thank you for applying it. One of the things that as a facilitator, as an educator, you never know what people are going to do or if they're going to do something, but the fact that you not only became a solopreneur, but you actually started to create a team, which now you're on the road to financial freedom as a business owner. Now you're going to be able to scale. Now you're going to be able to create leverage. Now you're going to be able to get your message out to the entire world if you choose to do it. As a solopreneur, it's a little rough. You're working 24/7. You eat what you kill. If you don't sell something, you don't eat, right? That's what I'm saying. But the minute you start building a team, now your team becomes the biggest asset of your business. Now, however, the biggest asset of your business could also become the biggest liability if they don't know how to communicate with each other, if they don't know how to operate as a team, which comes back to my original point. Where do you get the education for that? You don't get it in school. You don't get it at university. You don't get it in college. You get it from alternative sources. And myself, BSTA, we are one of the, I believe, great providers in the world of some of those pieces, and all different things from parenting to entrepreneurship to personal finance to health, meditation, whatever it is that you want to learn. That's not most of the things you need. This is a big lesson of COVID. Most of the things we need, I need, and you need as human beings, were never taught to us in school. They were just never taught, period. And unless you were taught by your parents or you went to another program, but you never learned any of this in school. So the advice I gave to a group the other day is just figure out what you need right now in your life. What is it you need? Do you need money? Do you need health? What do you need? And seek out the best training you can find on that. You don't have to go to school for 4 years to learn it. You don't have to go to school for years to learn it. Probably a couple of days, at least being taught by the way we teach, because the second thing is the methodology had a year ago got proven to be irrelevant. The curriculum is irrelevant. The way it's taught is irrelevant. So what we've done is we take whatever is relevant that you need, one. Number two, the way we teach it creates lifelong learning in a very, 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 very short period of time, as is mentioned by Claudia, okay? She helped me grow her business. Last year, she was a solopreneur. Now she's got a team. That's awesome. Okay, Linda Gale has some of the best teachers and leaders in the world. Thank you, Linda. Yeah, I agree. I just wish I could see them and talk to them every single day. Because I get so inspired by all of them. And Linda, you're one of them. You're one of them. I've known you for a long time, and wherever you are on the east coast of Australia, are you still living in a beach community out there? But you're just changing people's lives and coaching people to wins, and it's life changing. So I'm very optimistic today. I'm optimistic that being in the right industry at the right time is very, very important. Anan, you're still up. Mediocrity in this golden digital entrepreneurial age worldwide is more due to lack of belief than due to lack of information. Mediocrity. Yeah, I'm not sure I understand what you're saying, but I do agree. I do agree that mediocrity is rampant. Okay. The question is, on this anniversary of COVID-19, you have to look back. Did you decide over this year to just maintain? I just need to get the money coming in. I just need to stabilize myself. That's all I'm worried about right now. Or did you say, okay, I need to pivot my business. Whatever's happening is not working right now, but whatever I do, I'm going to crush it. I'm going to crush it. I'm not just going to break even. I'm going to crush it. No mediocrity. If you made a decision like that, good for you. And my hat's off to all of you guys that do that, because a lot of people don't. Only a few people do. That's why great teachers are also leaders. Teachers are leaders. Teachers are leaders. And because the minute you go on a camera or the minute you get in front of a room or the minute you become a mentor, you give advice to somebody, you're now a model, whether you like it or not. And how you show up as a human being is the most important part of any education. How the instructor shows up, how the teacher shows up, whether it's digital, live, or whatever, how you show up, do your actions and your words and your beliefs and your values, do they all marry up? That's what people want to know. And that's how they steer their lives as a result of that. Okay, thank you. Hilda, working on creating my team. Good, awesome. So what are the lessons have you learned? What are the lessons? Type in some of the lessons, John. If that's a nice comment, but what have you learned anything over the last year? Okay. Like I said, the big lessons are, for me, are the cracks that we found in the foundation. And are you getting education? Are you learning what you need to learn to clear all those up? Okay. All right, good. What resources would you suggest to learn more on how to build a great team? Okay. Well, obviously I'm going to be a little bit biased on that. Is I would suggest that Team Code of Honor, one of the books that I wrote, very simple step-by-step on how to do that. Very simple step-by-step. I think that in order to create, there are a lot of resources on building teams. However, it starts with, but you got to get past the little voice issue. Well, I don't have enough money and I'm just starting and how can I pay them and all that kind of stuff, you see? So again, start with, I think I might have said it on the last call, start with a bookkeeper. Everybody needs a book. You got to have a bookkeeper, even if it's only one day a month, a bookkeeper, a personal assistant, somebody to help you do the things that you're not doing, that occupy your time, they're not productive for your business, something like that. And again, doesn't need to be full-time, just could be part-time. And then look at the areas that you need to do. In the areas of marketing, particularly, I have to have a team because my marketing expertise isn't the best in the world. So I have teams. We have a team on social media. We have a team member on the website. We got a team member on YouTube. We got a team member working on high ticket items. So surround yourself, create your ideal scene, and then say, okay, so if I'm going to create that, how am I going to get it done? Because I don't know enough myself. See, if you know enough yourself, you won't build a team and you'll work on your own. But if you have a goal that's a bit bigger than you, then you can be forced into building a team. Okay? Be awesome. All right. What do we get? Oh, there was a big one here. Let me check this. I did your course, South Australia, back in 2007, and it had a massive impact on me and my life. I never forgot it. I remember we came up on stage to break an arrow. And before I had my turn, you looked at me and said, this is easy for you because you've been breaking these all your life. You didn't know me at all, but you were spot on. You told me I'd make a difference in thousands of people's lives, and I've tried to do that all my life. I'm an entrepreneur, and I love helping others. And you love helping and mentoring. I think that's what that is. Very good, Karen. I think that's how you pronounce your name. Good for you. 2007, that was a while ago. Yeah, I just go back to what I've been saying all this whole broadcast. The world needs more teachers and leaders. And those of you that answer the calling are doing really, really well. Okay, John Richardson, I just don't get why you still keep at this. Great comment. Okay. I'm going to ask you, John Richardson, why the hell do you get up in the morning? What motivates you? What gets you going? What is it about what you do or what any of us do that keep us going? Why do I keep doing this? I've been doing this probably, I don't know how old you are, John, but I started doing this, and my first personal development course was 1982. 1982. Most of you weren't even born in 1982. But what happened is it triggered something. It triggered something inside of me. When the facilitator, the trainer put up the responsibility flip chart, like no more victims, no more excuse making, no more denial, take responsibility. And here's the reasons why. I'm going, what are you talking about? And it completely changed my life. And so I just became voracious about learning more and teaching what I learn, teach. Why do I keep doing it? Why do I keep ranting? It's because there's 1,000,001 lessons being learned every single day, every day. But most people aren't learning them. Why? Because there's no good teachers and leaders around. That's why. Because school didn't teach you how to look at all that stuff. That's why. We talk about climate change. We talk about the economic collapse. We talk about all these things, all these crises. But I'm going to go back to how I started this flipping call. And that is, I don't believe that those are the major crisis. The major crisis is education. There's not one of those problems, John, that we could not handle if we had people that knew how to cooperate, how to work together, get their egos out of the way, keep their emotions low, their intelligence high, and be able to work together to solve these problems. I could be delusional, but I don't think so, because there's so much evidence throughout history of that happening. But it seems to only happen in an emergency. So why do I keep at this? Why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep broadcasting, whether anybody's listening or not? Because I'm hoping that one person, just one, like the person that I met in 2007, will hear it and do something with it and change a few more lives. That's it. That's all. That's really all there is to it, And so thank you for asking. See what other comments we got here. Wow, lots. John says, you were exhausted and cross when I saw you when you were 38. I've sold hundreds of thousands of books since then. That's good. But you did a weird, I don't need to be here thing. And you taught me when you taught me train the trainer. Yeah, that's true. I don't need to be here, but I am here. I've said that before. And what I'm just going to guess what you experience is sometimes in a program when people are not living to their potential, when their resistance is up, they don't want to learn, they don't want to make a change, and part of it is just being stubborn about it, then I get on it. I'm just going to tell you. So any of you have ever been to a live program with me, if you've seen me go into that mode, then you can type in the chat box and go, yep, I've seen it, and you've seen it. And I will do, John, whatever it takes, as long as it's legal, ethical, and moral for a person to make the changes, or at least to entertain the changes that they came to get. And, and I push really hard. And I've done that my entire life. And for some people that works, for some people it doesn't work. But for the people that it does, they do amazing things. See, I believe, again, here's my rambling again. I'm going to believe in answering what you're saying, John, is that I believe, maybe naively, that every person has the ability to be great. Not everybody's going to be great, for sure, but everybody's got the ability to do that. And if they don't, it's only because of something going on between their right ear and their left ear. I mean, you can countless examples of people that have nothing to become great. People that have everything, they become nothing. So what's the difference? The difference is right up here. So at the Master Facilitator program that I teach, we talk about removing resistance. We're removing resistance. So when people want to learn something, and I always use the same example. You want to get in better shape, you want to lose weight, what are you going to do? You're going to eat better, you're going to get some exercise, drink a lot of water, don't put nasty things in your body, all those kinds of things. Simple. Got it? Then why is like almost 50% of America obese? Why? They know what to do. Why do they do it? Resistance. There's some sort of resistance going on up there, and they want to make the change, but they can't seem to make it stick. And sometimes you got to go, come on, wake up. If you're going to don't bail out on me. When I say I don't need to be here, I don't. That's the same thing. Like you also asked me, why do I keep doing this? I don't need to keep doing this, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it because this is what I want to do. This is how I feel I can help people. And so I've been very, very blessed over the years to work with hundreds of thousands of people in over 40 countries around the world and support them in being who they need to be. So anyway, you'll take that. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for the question. Very good. Very good. Very good. So any other questions that you got? Yep. And I got what? Linda Gale goes, yep, I've seen that part of Blair. Yeah, when does that come up? Well, usually when we're talking about accountability, keeping to your word, the word that you keep to yourself, that you make an agreement with yourself. Do you keep your word to yourself or to anybody else? And when people say, yeah, I'm going to do it, and then they don't, and they're like, well, why didn't you? Okay, is everybody going to do the exercise? Yes, I'm going to do it. Everybody agree? Yeah. Anybody not? Okay, good. All right, let's do it. So who did it? Who didn't? A few people. You didn't do it. So what is up with that? You said you're going to do it and you don't do it? Why? And where else is that going on in your life? And from those people get the biggest, most powerful lessons. I think that in the anniversary of COVID-19, we haven't been able to be in a lot of big groups like we would normally do and those kinds of things. But I think that what we've had the ability to do is to reset and look at ourselves. It's been priceless for me. I've watched myself go through so many mood changes, from the heights of feeling I was a legend in my own mind to the depths of depression and every place in between, and more than once. I don't know that any time in my life have I experienced so much of that. I'm just being honest with you guys. But I've learned so much and I've grown so much. And I hope to always teach that to everybody. That's why I'm asking you, what did you learn? What did you learn? And what did you learn about yourself? How did you find my life's purpose? What was your defining moment? Okay. So I'm going to tell you the truth about that. Corinne, is I'm not really sure what my life purpose is. I think I'm supposed to teach because that's obviously what I do pretty well, better than others. I don't know that I'm the best in the world, but I'm pretty good at teaching. And what was the defining moment? I don't know what the defining moment. I do remember when I was learning to teach way back in the 80s, and I had my first experience to be up in front of a live room. Actually, it was not my first experience, but it was the first time I was able to deliver a part of a program and to do it live. It wasn't my program, it was somebody else's program. And I got hammered. I mean, the crowd turned on me, told me I was a cheat, a fraud. I had no idea what I was talking about. It was very, very, very ugly. And at that point, when I finally got myself out of there, I said I would never do this again, never teach. But my mentor said to me, he goes, okay, Blair. So he thought it was pretty funny. I didn't think it was funny. And he said to me, he goes, okay, Blair. So from that experience, what did you learn? And I said, well, Marshall, I think I learned how much I still have to learn. He says, good, awesome. And I made a commitment that day, that evening when that happened, to go back into my business and turn it around because it was struggling. I was in the air freight trucking business in Los Angeles at the time and it struggled. And I spent 2 and a half tough years turning that business around and making it work. Why? Because of the humiliation that I faced that night. I said, I've got to make this right. Because what the person that stood up was a guy by, and if he's ever watching this, Sandy Shapery, turned out to be a great friend, one of the wealthiest real estate developers in all of Southern California at the time. And he called me out. And he called me out in a way that hit very, very deep. No longer could I be charming and influential and clever and all those things, right? At that point, I had to get very, 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 very real and expose myself completely. Well, he exposed me. So there was no, I had no choice. And at that point, I had to make a decision how I wanted to live the rest of my life. So the defining moment of my purpose to teach, I think, was that night. And it didn't happen that night. It kind of happened over the next 2 or 3 years until I got invited back to speak again a couple of years later by Robert Kiyosaki. And it was a whole different ball game. So again, thank you. And I really appreciate you asking. Okay. All right. What our struggles are our greatest strength. It's a multiplier. Yeah. Bucky Fuller, I have this. Yeah. Right there. There he is. Okay. And what he says, he says, I've made more mistakes than anybody. That's why I'm so smart. That's what the quote says on the picture. And I really believe that. I kind of knew it, but now I know it. Is that the more mistakes you make, the more you learn. Not a guarantee that you're going to learn, but if you're open to learning and taking responsibility for it, then that's how you learn. Okay? Awesome. All right. So what other comments or questions that you have? The Power of New from Eckhart Tolle. All right. I'll check that out. Thank you, Claudia. So grateful to catch you live, Blair. Off to prep for training for a new group. Thank you for helping me get here. Calendar's booked throughout the year. So much to be grateful for. Have to keep playing the bigger game and celebrating. Good for you. Good luck. Tell all of your students I said hello and that they're in great hands with you. So thank you, Linda Gale. That's awesome. Awesome. So again, what have you learned in the anniversary of COVID-19? What have you learned about yourself? What have you learned about your business? What have you learned about people? Very, very important. Okay. T's for sharing. Thanks. Oh, thanks for sharing. You're welcome. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to start wrapping this up. If you're not going to have some comments, I think that, like I said, the big message I wanted to deliver today was the fact that in the anniversary, what got revealed were big cracks in our foundations. And I think that the biggest, in my opinion, other people have other opinions, but my opinion, the biggest crack was in the field of education. And as Fuller says, he said, every industry has its own lag time, like in IT, the time between an idea and implementation in the market could be days or weeks. Okay. It's very short, very, very short. Artificial intelligence, very short. Okay. And you deal with other industries like real estate or construction, the lag time between an idea and implementation in the workplace is longer. I think construction he mapped that out to be about a 20-year lag time. The only one that's longer, the longest of all, is education. 50 years. 50 years. Documented that 50 years from the time of state-of-the-art teaching methodology and content till it actually gets implemented in the public arena, 50 years. So what complicates this whole thing is we're in the middle of all that. What was 50 years ago? 50 years ago, it was 1970 something. So you got to ask yourself, were there any changes in 1970 that we're seeing today? And the answer is no. I don't think we made very many changes back then because those were the boom times. There were good times around the world. So we didn't have the need to change. So we pushed. So part of what's happening is we're in the middle of that lag. And so this is not a slam on school teachers, on school administrators. I just don't think they're aware of it. So if you have any desire to be a trainer or coach, go to blairsinger.com. Check out some of my videos on how to be a great trainer, how to be a great presenter. YouTube, I got a bunch of YouTubes. I did a whole series on, I think, the 20 biggest mistakes that most trainers and presenters make that completely blow up their presentations. Okay, go check it out. Go check it out. And whether you're a trainer or not, and subscribe. Please subscribe to the YouTube, to our YouTube channel, and subscribe to our website and check them out, because it's all there for you. It's all there for you. My goal is to provide as much education as I can for as many people as I can, but what's relevant for you? What's relevant for you? Okay. All right. Let's see. Student debt is 1.5. Yeah. Thank you, Anand. Student debt is 1.5 trillion US dollars. Whew. That's a lot. We have to reinvent. Thank you. I'll subscribe indeed. Thank you, Karen. Yeah. God bless all of you too. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to start wrapping this up, like I said, and I'm going to say that thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this stream. If you've got questions, I'll be on next week with a different topic. But I'm here to answer questions and to just discuss with you what you think about some of these things. I'm just going to leave you with the fact that education is probably one of the fastest growing industries. It's one of the best ones to be in right now. And again, if there are things in your life that you need that you're not getting, go seek them out, because there's lots of good trainers out there that can teach you the things that you need to know, all the things that school did not teach. Okay. So again, thank you. Okay. So here's the deal. Okay. Thank you, John. So you're getting a good little seminar without having to spend $5,000. That's good. So that's good. So again, whatever we can do, thank you so much for being part of the stream this week. Again, blairsinger.com, get started, and check out some of the free videos. We got a lot of free stuff up there. Courses on Little Voice Mastery, how to win the war between your courses on how to build a championship team, and also on how to sell, because sales equals income. All right, you guys, thank you. We'll see you next week. Be awesome.